We are in the throes of March and into the postseason in college basketball. And as we've been discussing, Navy basketball, Patriot League regular season champions, they're getting ready to host in the quarterfinals tomorrow night in Annapolis. And joining us now here on GCR, one of their leading scorers, someone who just put in 25 last week against Loyola. He is Jinwoo Kim, and he is with us now here on GCR. Jinwoo, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to meet you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clark, for having me on the show today.
Man, it is great to meet you. Jinwoo, if you could, can you put into words, like, what has made this team so special from the start of the year and really no let up at any point, the consistency that your group has put together?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'd like to start first off with how close we are off the court. I mean, I'm hanging out with these guys all the time, whether that be in Bancroft Hall here at the Naval Academy or just in the locker room. We're just like really close, a really tight-knit group. And that goes, this group is older too.
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing with each other for a couple of years, so we're really a close group of guys. And then going into that preseason stuff as well, you know, we basically decided what this team was going to be. And coach kind of laid out the framework for what he wanted to see and what it wanted to be. But it was really the guys led by, our captain, Mike Woods, laying the framework out for what the team should look like and how should we execute the plan.
Obviously, we knew you guys were really good based on the run you had a year ago to the Patriot League title game. I feel like for a lot of places, though, it's hard. I keep going back to consistency and this like no letdown at any point during the course of the year. And I wonder how much of that is related to just being at the academy. And I know, like, when I talk to football players, a lot of times they talk about how, a lot of places say they're family or they say they're a brotherhood, but, those guys might be transferring out at any point, right? They might only be around
Yeah.
each other for a couple of months. How much is your guys' unique experience on top of obviously how good of players we know you are? How much do you think that's driven what has led to this season that you put together?
Yeah, definitely. Like most people know, the Naval Academy and other service academies are pretty much the only schools untouched by this whole NIL and transfer portal situation that's been taking the NCAA by storm for the last couple years. But I definitely think our connectedness that separates our group from, like, let's just say a regular civilian college comes from our beginning when we first get here, right? We're getting indoctrinated into military training from day one when we get here. And when you go through they make it stressful on purpose, right? And when you go through that stressful phase with the group of guys that you can relate to, it only brings you closer, right? You can go to the locker room afterward and be like, oh my God, today plebe summer was, so hard. I was getting, my butt chewed out by the detailers real bad, right? So that brings you close, right? And then you feel like you can take on challenges after that together when you're going through, classes and basketball, that just all those things really bring you together compared to, let's say, just a regular civilian basketball school,
I think it makes all
right?
the sense in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
it's incredibly unique, and I think it can only help on the court, as we're seeing, obviously. Jinwoo Kim from Navy is with us here on GCR, getting ready for the Patriot League quarterfinals in Annapolis tomorrow night. Jinwoo, are you a superstitious person in general?
I wouldn't say I'm superstitious. I feel like a lot of times you can kind of determine your own fate and make something for yourself. Definitely, when I do my pregame routine, I definitely have my routine and
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess my superstitious stuff. But other than that, I wouldn't say I'm a superstitious person. No.
I say that obviously you guys, it's been a while since you've lost a basketball game, right? Like it
Yeah.
dates back to
Mhm.
so I wanted to know, one, like, is there anything that you mentioned the routine? Is there anything else that, like, you've done game day, like anything along those lines that you've done because the vibes have been good and you don't want to mess with the vibes as you're getting ready to play basketball? Oh.
I definitely think one thing that it might be a little superstitious is me and Aiden Kehoe, our center.
Mhm.
We there's a place upstairs of Alumni Hall. Me, him, and other couple guys. We go up there and we just hang out. We just kind of mess around a little bit up there, lay down, and just hang out together up there. So I think that's definitely a pre-game routine for us that we've done since the beginning of the season. And a lot of guys have joined us in that as well.
That's cool. Is it like a thing where you have to earn your right to be part of the pregame, or is everybody welcome? Like what?
No, everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. Yeah, this is usually after team pregame meal,
Okay.
and then we just head up there and we just hang out up there. Yeah.
That's cool. And when you guys are up there, like, what are you just chatting? Are you just like relax? Like, what? This is actually fascinating to me.
Yeah, so we'll be just chatting. We'll be making cracking jokes.
That's
Sometimes
cool.
we'll be playing, some video games on our phone just to, ease our mind a little bit. And then as the time gets closer to, when we need to get dressed out and get down on the court to warm up, that's when we start, locking in a little more, putting in our headbuds, listening to music.
That's incredible, man. I love that. I just love the idea of you guys. Like, we go back to this brotherhood thing. Like, it's just more time together that you want to spend with each other. That's really special.
Yeah.
Gina, getting the opportunity to play the Patriot League tournament in Annapolis, right? And I know it's unfortunate the timing of spring break, and we got to try to get some more folks down on the yard to support you guys as the tournament goes on. But what's ahead of you and the potential to do this at home and to celebrate at home in Annapolis, like with the Midshipmen? How meaningful is this? I know you're not at the end of your career the way that some of the other guys are, but how do you describe what this opportunity is for your team to try to do this over the course of the next week or so?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, especially the fact that we can do it from home this year. Last year, it was a little bit, I would say a little more surprising, I guess, because we had to go travel on the road each game. We had to go to Boston and then Bucknell and then American. But this year, it's definitely there's a lot more buzz around campus. I'd say, especially with the midshipmen. People in my company are always great, always supporting, always asking questions. They're really interested. And then we also have a very loyal fan base. We lead the league in attendance per team, so it's definitely great to have the support in Annapolis. And then there's no place we'd rather be to do it. And Coach Perry, I remember for this from day one, practice day one, he was like, I already envisioned in my mind us cutting down the nets in front of 5,200 people in Alumni Hall on whatever date the championship day is going to be. So we put that expectation in our mind from day one.
That's cool, man. That's what a God. That gives you goosebumps thinking about it, right?
Hmm.
Gino, you bring up Coach Perry, right? And that I know the transition is obviously easier when it's somebody that you've been around for a long time, right? And somebody who was within the program. But can you tell me about why it's gone so seamlessly with him taking over for Coach D, and then what it's meant to you guys to have Coach DeChellis like hanging around recently and being able to be there to celebrate with you guys, like when you clinched the regular season title?
Yeah, definitely. Coach Perry is just a great guy, person overall, is what I'd first like to say. He really puts his heart and soul into this team. And then I'd also say a lot of the guys he's recruited that are, playing in older, he directly recruited them, out of high school. So we've had that relationship with him for about, 4 or 5 years, knowing him, knowing his tendencies as a coach, knowing what he likes to see. And then also, like you said, Coach D, having Coach D around is always great. He's a hilarious guy, always supporting, will always give you advice. Like for me, he's always like, "Yo, G, when are you gonna get more rebounds for me?" He's always on my butt about that, but he's a great guy. He's always going to tell you the truth and what you need to hear, or what you need to hear, and not what you want to hear, right? And then a lot of things that Coach D used to do, Coach Perry has also brought, but he's also brought his own stuff, from his own, point of view and perspective on things.
It's cool.
So it's been a great blend of Coach D and then also Coach Perry bringing his new things in.
That's awesome, man. That's a really
Yeah.
it's so cool that that's worked out so seamlessly for you guys. All right, so I need to know your, like the story for you of how it ended up being Annapolis, how it ended up being the academy. I know you're in a family of athletes coming out of Kansas. Why was this? It is not, as we keep talking about, it is not like committing to go to a civilian school. How did it come about, and why were you ready to make this type of commitment that comes along with ending up at Navy?
Yeah. I'd say from the beginning, I've always wanted to, play basketball at a high level and get into a school that I possibly couldn't have gotten into without basketball. So that was always my initial goal as a kid, right? And then so going through the recruiting process in high school, it was kind of hard because I was around sophomore, junior year of high school when COVID happened, right? So I initially went to Air Force Academy and had interest from them, and I was honestly committed to them at first.
Hmm.
And then due to some medical reasons, I actually got medically disqualified from that. And then one of their guys, one of their assistant coaches there, recommended me to go to a prep school in Pennsylvania, Mercersburg Academy, coached by Sean Crocker. And I knew nothing about. I'm from Kansas City. I knew nothing about prep schools on the East Coast or post grad years or anything like that. So I took a visit up there. I really could I visioned myself there and loved the place. Went there, had a great year of basketball. Coach Crocker did a great job developing me there into a well-rounded shooting guard, I'd say. And then it just happened at the same time when Annapolis is only 2 hours away from that place. So Coach Perry, Coach DeChellis, Coach Davis at the time, they would make trips out there to come see me. I went on a visit here, fell in love with the place. It stood for everything that I wanted in the school: high academics, Division I basketball, and then the opportunity to also serve your country, right? So that's always been the goal in our family. I'm Korean. My mom's from Korea. My dad's Korean. My grandparents on my father's side are from Korea. So it's always been a goal to, play sports at a high level while also maintaining a high degree of education. My cousin plays baseball at Princeton right now. He's the senior team captain over there. He's doing well. My little sister is a sophomore at St. Louis University in the A10 conference. And then my little cousin, Laura Kim, she's playing golf right now. She's one of the top youth golfers in the country, which is crazy.
Wow.
She's probably the best athlete in the family. But it's just been a gift for us, right? And we're just trying to take
I was
advantage
gonna say,
of
how
that.
competitive are all you guys? Like, are you, like when you have a 25-point game,
Mhm.
are you getting in the group chat like immediately? Like, you guys got to step your game up a little bit.
It's definitely funny at the family holidays, right? Showing up. Thankfully, we all play different sports, so we can all, we don't have to be too competitive with each other. But if we, yeah, it's definitely nice, showing up. Hey, yeah, I had a good game today, and then, oh, my cousin pitched, 5 straight innings with no runs.
That's cool.
Oh, and then you won this tournament over here in Houston, Texas, my little cousin. So it's awesome being able to share that experience with
That's
them.
awesome. Also, we think obviously of Navy and Air Force as rivals, but obviously we need to make sure that we send a thank you to the medical staff at Air Force for what set all this into motion. For you to
Yeah, it was hurtful in the moment, but it definitely worked out for the best.
That's
Yes.
really cool, man. Have you
Hmm.
thought? Have you thought at all? Obviously we know what's going on in the world, and I'm sure like you guys can't hide from that. Like in the commitment that you made. Have you thought about? Like I know that you don't get your service assignment obviously until next year, but have you thought about what you might want that to look like?
Yeah, definitely. Very real world situations going on, and we can only, rely on our training here and our trust in our leadership. We know that they're doing the best that they can, and we got to just do the best that we can every day here as midshipmen in our development in athletics, education, and in our company as well. I'm hoping to go into the supply or intel route. That's my initial goals. Obviously, things can change, but that's what I'm kind of looking to do right
That's
now.
cool. That's cool. I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what that even
So
is.
supply is like the business side of the
Okay.
Navy,
All
like
right.
the logistical side. Yes.
All
Uh-huh.
right.
Yeah.
Austin said he wanted to be a pilot. I'm like, I know what that is.
He's the cool stuff, Top Gun
Yeah,
guy. Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Hmm.
100%. That sounds right, and
Yeah.
of course, that made all the sense in the world for him, right? Like
Hmm.
all the sense in the world. Gino, let me make sure. Are you on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, anywhere where folks can be giving you a follow?
I am on Instagram and Twitter. Yes.
And what's
Hmm.
the handle so that everybody can give you a follow there?
Yeah. My Instagram handle is Jinwoo X Kim, JinWooX Kim, and then my Twitter handle is the same thing, just with the 10 at the end. So Jinwoo X Kim 10 on
And
Twitter.
and we want to remind everybody to come out and support the Midshipmen, obviously, as the Patriot League tournament quarterfinals are tomorrow night, and then it's a win in advance. And as long as Navy keeps winning, they will be hosting through the championship game. So make some time, especially like this Sunday for a potential semifinal. You got kids. It's a great day to try to come out, bring them, and create an amazing atmosphere and let them get a taste of March Madness right here in our backyard. Gino, awesome to watch you play, man. An incredible season that you guys have put together. Looking forward to seeing what happens next for you all. Thank you for taking the time for us. We really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you for having me on today. It was great. Thank you for the support, and we're gonna just keep getting this thing rolling.